We're back with more Oliver Collishaw. I have to get to the bottom of what this guy's deal is. If you haven't watched the last video yet, go watch it, because this is a saga now. I need to understand whether or not this guy is actually a piece of shit. I couldn't tell from the last video. I'm inclined to think that he is, because he left a lot of missing pieces out from his story about being emotionally abused by his ex. It could be true, I don't know. But he left things out. And he also left things out of, like, his last date that or his first date that he went on after this discovery journey of his. And he said when he self-reflected that, like, he was asking himself why he put up with her behavior. Not what he did wrong. He didn't do anything wrong, right? It's what she did wrong and why he put up with it, right? It's all too sus. And he also had this message about, like, making sure that women respect you. So I don't buy it. I'm going to see what he's actually pushing out now that this isn't just a self-reflection video. Emotional abuse from women, 5 subtle signs most men miss. This one should prove very interesting and should answer our question relatively quickly, and then also be really, really good React content. So let's get started.
Most people think emotional abuse is loud and chaotic, but for many of the men that I've worked with, it was actually quiet and subtle, and it gets under your skin, and over the course of time it may eat away at you until eventually
wait, the ones that the 2 examples that I'm losing my mind. The 2 examples that he gave in his video that relates to this content directly were both very loud. Like, he was talking about how his ex would be like, oh, you're a child for not taking out the dishes. Oh, you suck ass at this thing. Right? And then, like, he would talk about, what was the second story he told? When he went on that date with that girl who called him very loudly a prick in front of everybody. No, see, none of this adds up. I don't buy it.
you may realize that you don't even know who you really are anymore.
Is he AI generated?
In this video, mate, I'm going to show you 5 subtle signs
now I'm looking
of emotional abuse from women that most men totally miss. And I'm going to show you these things so that you can stop doubting yourself. You can see what's actually happening, and you can start to take back control. And just to be really clear, I am not saying that all women do this. What I'm talking about is some specific behaviors that I've spotted in my career as a men's coach, working in dating and relationships, and these things can show up in any relationship. And the first sign doesn't actually look like a problem at all until you know what to look for. Sign number 1.
Here we go.
Let's say you're in a relationship, but you notice something. When you're talking to her, you pause before you speak. You're running through all the possible ways that she could react. You're analysing your own thoughts. You're analysing what to say. You start thinking, is it worth saying it? Is it worth the fallout? So you either hold back or you just don't say anything at all. You might think you're being considerate, but the truth is you're being conditioned.
No, come on.
You are walking on eggshells.
No. He's still talking about what like the guy is feeling inside. I thought he was going to talk about, like, what the woman was doing.
Managing her reactions, constantly monitoring your own behavior, and being so attuned to her emotions that you are in a state of anxiety until it slowly eats away at you. And that is not what a healthy relationship should feel like. That's not even a relationship at all, honestly. That is actually anxiety masquerading as a relationship. And if you've been doing this for a while, something else usually starts to happen.
He is describing real therapeutic concepts in, like, dude bro terms, you know? Like everything that he's saying is correct, but, like, he's not saying how that comes about. Like, what if, like, that's an internal problem? Think about it. Like, if you feel that way, that could literally just be your trauma. That could just be you needing to, like, work on it a little bit, you know? Like I'm not trying to get on you for it. It's not your fault. But if you feel that way for absolutely no reason, that's a problem. You should work on that. But we're not getting any indication as to how this could arise. Like, what behaviors to look for? Like, what kind of behavior are we looking for here? You know, like, what did you do? And then what did she do? You know, you're perfectly fine with saying what she did. What did you do? What did you do to warrant being called a prick? Why did she call you that? I guarantee you she did not just snap and then just stand up and smash the table and spaghetti flies everywhere and then say, "You're a prick, you man." And then you were very calmly with your man brain stood up and said, "Now I just need you to calm down." And then she said, "Okay." And then everybody clapped. You're selling a crock of bullshit.
The dynamic around responsibility quietly shifts, and that brings me to sign number 2. Here's something that you will probably relate to. A client of mine once told me, every argument ends the same way. She does something
What are you arguing
that is
about?
clearly wrong. Then we start talking about what she did.
What did she do? What? What was it? Be specific. You have to be kidding me. He's like talking around it every single time. What did she do? Okay, I get the game. I get it. He's not saying what she did because that's supposed to be left up to the interpretation of the young and vulnerable male watching this. That way you could lump literally anything into that category. It's genius. I get it now. She's vaguely doing something wrong, and you get to decide what that is. So now whatever this person thinks is wrong, like me, you know, I'm thinking about things that my ex did wrong, or even that Katie did wrong, you know, probably happened to you too. Notice that? It's a very sneaky trick he's playing. It took me until now to understand what he was doing, but I get it. We smart.
And somehow, over the course of the conversation, I end up being the one apologizing for how I brought it up. And that becomes the focus of the conversation.
You didn't make this dinner good enough, wife of mine. And then she gets understandably upset because she was slaving over an oven for an hour, you know, for your fat ass. And like he calls her the problem. And you're just allowed to think that like that is what happened, you know, like that's an acceptable way to think about this. I get the game.
By the way, she's never apologized for it. She's never taken responsibility. It always turns into a discussion about what I did wrong, regardless of what she did wrong. And the guy also said, I leave the conversation the same way every time, feeling guilty and ashamed for even raising it, thinking I've done something wrong. And when this happens again and again, mate, you're not having a normal kind of disagreement. Disagreements and
what
an
was the
element of
disagreement?
conflict
What
in a
did she
relationship
do?
is even desirable, if not inevitable. Accountability in this situation only ever goes one way. A sign of emotional abuse is that you're always the one scrambling to fix things. You're always the one sort of playing catch up.
This is so vile. This is evil. It's evil. It is evil. Like now that I understand the game, this is even worse than like I initially thought. You know what I mean? Like all of this sounds like legitimate advice, and you know, some of it is. But then at the same time, you are literally left to insert what the toxic behavior from women looks like. Like he's not describing, okay, what is she doing that's wrong? Here's what you look for when she's wrong. And there's a reason for that. It's because like I said, you're left to plug that in, okay? It's his little ditto effect. Ooh, that's a good term, the ditto effect.
Trying to patch things up. Meanwhile, that's like she does what she wants. You're not being met in the same way. And when that becomes a pattern, like a consistent pattern, it starts to show up as sign number 3, or it relates to it. Imagine that you're with a woman and she's upset, and you listen for an hour.
Okay.
You reassure her.
Now notice, he's not going to say what she's upset about. Watch.
You validate her emotions. You're creating space and holding space for her emotions, and you're...
Okay, you're not sitting there like holding her and comforting, unless like somebody died. Then you would be for like an hour, sure. But like usually in my experience, you're not sitting and holding and comforting your wife when she's like very emotionally distraught for an entire hour. It's usually shorter than that. And if you are sitting there doing that, you're usually also doing something else, like watching a cartoon or something. Speaking of, she just got back.
Doing your best to be there for her. And then a few days later, maybe you share something that you're struggling with, or maybe you share something that you didn't like, or whatever. And suddenly,
it's so
it shifts.
vague.
And
it's so
that same
vague.
empathy empathy and compassion that you were showing is not met the same way. Suddenly, you're too sensitive. Suddenly, you're being dramatic. Suddenly, you're making it a big deal. What's the...
Well, babe, you know, I was just thinking about the fact that you didn't put enough butter on my mashed potatoes last night. And, you know, that really upset me personally. And she's like, well, you know, you could just get the butter from the fridge. I don't see the... What is wrong with you, woman? What is wrong with you? I didn't have enough butter on my mashed potatoes, and that's your fault. And you want to sit here and say that it's mine? I'm breaking up.
Big deal with what you're feeling. What I'm describing here is a dynamic where her feelings always take up space, and they always have space, while you're feeling...
Meanwhile, she was literally like, yeah, my uncle just died, you know? That sucks. Or like, my dad just died. Oh, that really sucks, you know? Like, of course you're comforting her for an hour, at least.
Things get shut down, and there's no space for that whatsoever. And the thing is, when your emotions stop being welcome, that's a sign. That's a sign of emotional abuse. And that sign also relates to sign number 4, which is something I've seen way more often than most people realize.
I told you the ditto effect is in full effect here.
You disagree with your wife or girlfriend calmly. But then she looks at you and she says...
See, what are you disagreeing on? Oh, see, I just think that, like, I think that America is being taken over by brown people. You can say that very calmly, you know? Your wife should still, like, not assault you, of course, but, you know... Verbally, sure. Verbally assault you. Absolutely. Now. Listen, I'm being very calm about this. I just think that we need to preserve a future for a... And then she keeps yelling at you like, yeah. You guys see how this game works? It's the ditto effect. Insert, like, make your own character. Build your own world.
Be a man. Or man up. Or some sort of language around poking you in your masculinity or whatever. In that moment, the truth is, you're likely not being weak. At all, right? You're just not giving her what she wants. And the thing is, when you hear the phrase man up or be a man, every time you set a boundary or you say no, that's not encouragement. That's not actually a dynamic that's pushing you to, or inspiring you, I would say, to...
Okay, that is the most specific he's been in this entire video. Yes, if you're called, like, if your masculinity is insulted for, like, setting a boundary or whatever, sure. But, like that doesn't, like... I don't know. I haven't heard, like, women say that very much. I just don't feel like that happens a lot. Like, the problem that most men have with dating is that they just don't know how. They have no idea what they're doing. And they f it up every time. And then they wonder, is the problem, like, what's the problem? What's wrong with me? You know? And I'll tell you what's wrong. It's that, you know, it's kind of what this guy said in his first video. You're trying too hard, you know? Like, just be yourself, enjoy your life, and somebody will come into it, and try to interact with people in general. Like, don't just go out and look for, like, unless you're trying to get laid, but don't just go out and, like, look for a date. Unless you're on Tinder. I literally found Katie on Tinder. So maybe this isn't the best advice coming from me. But, like, just live your life and it will come. That's the point. Live your life and it will come. You have to be your own best friend first, in my experience. If you want the best experience, for sure. You know, there are other ways to do it. In my experience, this is the best.
To grow as a man.
Just live your life and
that's
they will
something
come.
that I call weaponized masculinity. And I've seen it time and time again, honestly. It's not encouragement. It is pure shame tactics, and it's used to control you. It really is as simple as that.
I don't hear this one a lot anymore.
When shame becomes part of the dynamic, it slowly spreads.
This mostly seems like a thing that, like, a boomer would say to their kid, you know, or like somebody from Gen X. Is it Gen X? Yeah, Gen X, the forgotten generation.
Spreads into the rest of your life, and this relates to sign number 5. Here's something another client said to me.
Hold on. Are we on number 5 or number 4?
Part of the dynamic. It slowly spreads into the rest of your life, and this relates to sign.
Is it number 4 or 5? I think this one's only number 4.
Number 5. Here's something another client said to me that struck with me. In one session, he came to me and he said, you know what? I looked at my phone one day and I realized
And my girlfriend texted me, and she texted me something really, really mean, you know, and I'm not going to say what that was because you can just insert that yourself, okay? But it was really mean, trust me. And so I, in response, very calmly, told her to go jump off of a bridge. But it was very calm, you see. And so like that was fine to do. As long as I was calm, I can say whatever I want to her, you know, and it'll be fine.
I hadn't seen my friends in months. Not because she explicitly told me not to, although to be fair, that does happen sometimes.
That's a skill issue.
I just didn't have the energy anymore. I barely even replied to messages. I just didn't have the energy to do it. I was always running errands for her. I was always being where she wanted.
I feel like this is made up. This is bullshit. This one's bullshit. I guarantee you. There's no way. It's really hard for me to believe anything that's coming out of this guy's mouth.
Me to be. My calendar.
It all feeds back into the same narrative. Woman bad, woman must be conquered.
It seemed to be full of things that she'd planned for me. So here's the thing. A healthy relationship has room for and encourages your own development. That means having a life outside of it. Your friends, your own interests, your hobbies, your growth. A big telltale sign that some emotional abuse may be going on for me personally in my work is when a man's world starts shrinking.
See, it's never what she does. Never. This is not self-reflection. This is not self-improvement. This is bullshit. You are a snake oil salesman, sir.
Losing, when a man loses himself, for me that is a massive red flag. And the reason I'm sharing this is because some version of this has showed up in every single emotionally abusive dynamic I've ever worked with. So if your world is starting to shrink, that is a sign. That is a sign. So one thing I want to say...
No, it's not. It's a symptom. I'm sorry. It's not even a sign. It's a symptom. Okay, I'm just saying. Like what I mean by that is, like, a sign of abuse is if she is laying her hands on you. That's a good sign of abuse. Or, I'm trying to think. If she's forcing you to do things that you don't want to do, so, like in an unreasonable manner. Like if she's forcing you to brush your teeth, it doesn't count. All right? I'm talking like she's forcing you to do weird things that you don't want to do, maybe like in the bedroom. Or she's, you know, forcing you to like change certain lifestyle choices that you don't really need to change, like playing video games sometimes, as long as you're not doing it too much. Like if she says, sweetie, I really think you should stop playing video games, you should stop, assess how much you're playing video games, and make a judgment call on whether or not she's to be listened to. If you're playing video games for 12 hours a day, I have news for you. Maybe she has a point. Okay, but if you're only playing for like an hour a night, and she's like, I don't like it when you play video games, well then yeah, that's kind of abusive, you know? You should leave. Like, be specific, man. It's not hard.
About all the signs I've listed, is that no one sign is immediately a sign that she's an abuser or toxic or whatever. I want you to take all of these signs
it was number 5.
and really consider it in context. Think, if all of these signs are showing up, it's absolutely a red flag. And the more signs that show up, it's, you know, even more of a red flag. So
there was no red flags mentioned here.
If you related to this video.
The red flags are all up here, brother. Are the red flags in the room with us right now?
Perhaps uncomfortably. That's not a coincidence. So I can relate to that because I've been through it myself. And in this next video, I made this video about a month and a half ago, I want you to click it because it's me. I made a video talking about how I broke free from this kind of
I don't care
cycle
anymore.
Of ending up in relationships like this. And I did so without becoming bitter, cold, resentful, and it was one of the best things I ever did. So please click this video.
I don't care anymore. That was a quick duology of Oliver Collishaw. I will not be covering any more of Oliver Collishaw unless like something completely blows up or something. I just like that was the most boring, like not saying anything while talking, like type of bullshit that I've ever heard. He had very little good advice, and he had some things that were good. You should journal like your experiences. Like everything that he was saying was correct, but it was like correct in the wrong way. He has all the impact of a soft fart. He is also very boring. I was mostly just really invested in the mystery of like, does he actually mean this, or is he just another grifter? And the answer is, of course, he's a grifter, which I figured because he's, his YouTube description very much gives it away. But there you go. The ditto effect has been coined. Spread the word, make memes of it, and leave a copy pasta of ditto in the comments. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs, or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.